Welcome to the Chicago Bears franchise, everybody. It's week 17, which means this first season will come to an end today as the Bears take on the Minnesota Vikings. The Bears are 4-11. We know they'll be picking in the top 5 of this draft, and there isn't much to play for today. Meanwhile, Minnesota is hoping to take care of the NFC North, where they are currently tied with the Green Bay Packers. Good news for them, we plan on rotating in some backup players and getting a chance to see more of the roster. I will also take some breaks during the game commentary to talk about some of your questions and talking points that were left in the comments on last episode. Off we go, week 17. Here we go as we have a decent return by Deontay Thompson. Now, Mike Glennon making his 4th start today, lines up under center, but we are going to see some Mark Sanchez at some point, so stay tuned as Jordan Howard is stopped. 2 receivers to the left, and now play action for Glennon. There's pressure, and he just gets this away, dumping it off to Jordan Howard, who has been very good for Chicago this season. He is definitely the player we are building around offensively. On 3rd and 6, how about this throw by Glennon? I don't know how he got it there, but first down, Kendall Wright. At the Minnesota 48, a draw, Howard through the second level and into the secondary where Andrew Sendejo brings him down. There are Howard's numbers as he has reached over 1,300 rushing yards this year. Glennon on 2nd down to the rookie tight end Adam Shaheen, a player many of you were asking about on last episode. Right now, I do view Shaheen as one of the building blocks on offense and a potential starting tight end as early as next season. Zach Miller has an expiring contract, and who knows if he'll be back in Chicago, so we'll have to see. As Benny Cunningham takes this for a first down. Cunningham is one of the players that has really impressed me this season. I was asked about players that have surprised me, and Cunningham is toward the top of that list, as Linval Joseph sacks Glennon. Here's 3rd down for Glennon, and he'll throw to the end zone, broken up for Michael Burton, who was double covered by both Minnesota safeties. 3 on the board for the Bears, and now the Viking offense, which is being led this time around by Teddy Bridgewater, who gives this to Dalvin Cook for a first down. Bridgewater is back as the starting quarterback as Sam Bradford is out for the season. Bridgewater trying to take the Vikings into the playoffs as this pass is nearly picked off. Jarrell Freeman jumped it. He's another player who has proven to be one of the best on this team at 33 years old. On 3rd and 6 now, Dalvin Cook running to the right side. That's a Viking first down. Jerick McKinnon now checks in at running back, running right, getting some help from his fullback, and that's a good tough run to the 45 of Chicago. 3rd down and inches as Cook returns. Teddy turns, hands off, Cook first down, and taken down by Eddie Jackson at the 43. Single high look here for Chicago, and here is Cook once again, right side through a lane. And this improved Vikings offensive line helps him get about 7. Going with a 3-wide set on 3rd down, Bridgewater to Stephon Diggs on the crossing pattern, shoved out by Kyle Fuller, who is one of the many Bears on this team we have to make a decision about if he's going to be returning next year. On 1st down, Teddy scrambling right as the pocket collapses. He meets Pernell McPhee, who has continued to rack up the sacks this season. First quarter already winding down as Bridgewater finds Rudolph. Powers through a tackle of Cooper, and that is close to a first. And that is one of the other questions I have gotten about the tackling from the secondary and what we're going to do there. Now, I like many of our young players like Amos and Eddie Jackson, but when it comes to getting depth at those positions and acquiring other potential starters, I'll definitely look at how we can improve tackling so we're not giving up as many big plays next season. That was one of our great weaknesses. We could play a lot of good defense, but if we give up 2 big plays a game, it skews all the stats. And in regards to last week's game against the Browns, if there weren't the big plays from Isaiah Crowell, we'd probably win that game. And meanwhile, we have Bridgewater scrambling into another sack. That's Pernell McPhee. Bears trying to get off the field, 3rd and long. Dumped off to Rudolph. Makes a move and is taken down by Jarrell Freeman, who leads this team in tackles. Now, Mike Glennon has done some good things in his 3 starts, and now this is his 4th, as a flag on the play will knock us back a little bit. And there were many questions about the future at quarterback and if Mitchell Trubisky is the answer. And as of right now, I'm fully prepared to build around Mitchell Trubisky, as we get a nice catch and run from Josh Bellamy to move the chains. While Trubisky still has a ways to go in his development, I've still seen enough positive signs that I want to keep building around him and give him a better chance to succeed, especially in year 2. Look at what the Rams and Eagles did this year, building around their young quarterbacks. We should be doing the same to let Trubisky reach his potential. One thing the Rams did was go out and get Andrew Whitworth and aggressively address their offensive line, and that might be something that we have to do. Tackle has been one of our weakest position groups this season. It's resulted in a number of sacks and I think some inconsistency in running the football. And speak of tackles, here we go. Everson Griffin beats Charles Leno, who is fresh off allowing 4 sacks to Myles Garrett last week. Tackle is one of our biggest needs to address this offseason, and we might have to get 2 of them. Here's Teddy going deep on first down, overthrowing Michael Floyd, well covered there by Marcus Cooper. Still a 3-3 game in this quickly moving first half, and Bridgewater gets himself into trouble again. Sacked on the play, Pernell McPhee. Now over 20 sacks this season. One of the major bright spots for this Bears team amidst a 4-win season. Now 3rd and 17, and we give him the first down. It's Adam Thielen beating Prince Amukamara. Now we have signed Amukamara to a multi-year extension, but cornerback is another group that we could target in free agency potentially. I was asked about making a big splash in free agency, and I think the most likely positions to attack in that aggressive style would be either offensive line or corner. I just don't see the receivers being there, so that's not even going to be an option. Hopkins won't be available. Robinson won't be available. Here's a shot from Teddy, picked off. There we go, Prince Amukamara, a team-leading 3 interceptions. Before this year, the Bears signed a number of veterans to 1-year contracts, and we could duplicate that process this offseason in the hopes that we find more players like Amukamara who surprise us and then get multi-year contracts afterwards. On offense, we've been surprised by Marcus Wheaton, who is close to 1,000 yards on the year, but needs to get 88 yards against this Vikings secondary, and currently he's being shut out, and that's intercepted. Terrence Newman for the Vikings on the interception. Glennon had a wide open check down, but tried to hit something a little more intermediate, and Newman stays in good enough position to break on the football as it's thrown. The Vikings now take over at the 33-yard line, and this is Cook carrying, powering forward as he lowers his head. That's good yardage for Dalvin Cook. Now the Vikings spread the field out. Empty shotgun, Bridgewater scrambling up the middle with a lot of room. Puts a spin on Danny Trevathan, and that's a gain of 14. A minute 41 to go in this first half. Screen, Cook on the catch. Ahead to the 10, makes a move again and knocked backwards at the 7. Vikings trying to find the end zone and break this tie game. Another screen, same play to Cook, and he'll get in for the touchdown this time. Vikings on top here at home. They do a good job capitalizing off the Terrence Newman interception. So Mike Glennon will try to bounce back now and lead the Bears down the field, but he's blitzed, and this throw doesn't really go in the direction of anybody in particular. Now it's 3rd down for the Bears, needing 6. And here comes the rush again. Glennon trying to escape, but he's not going to outrun Everson Griffin. 39 seconds to go in this opening half, and Bridgewater back to pass again. Moving to his right, and he meets McPhee, who has 3.5 sacks now on the day. The Vikings will just take this to halftime with a 10-3 score. And we'll see the Bears begin to bring in some backups to get more playing time when the second half gets underway. One player I know many of you are curious about is linebacker Marcus Calhoun, who was signed as an undrafted free agent from Kalispell. Well, I missed this from last game, but checking the stats, I found it. Marcus Calhoun has made 1 tackle this year, and it was on this play right here, tackling Jabril Peppers. Now, is he going to get any substantial playing time? The answer would be not anytime soon. He happens to be in the position group that is the deepest on this roster. Jarrell Freeman is a great leader, so is Danny Trevathan, and behind those two you have Nick Kwiatkowski, who I think has proved his worth this year, and you also have Jonathan Anderson, who helped us beat the Steelers. Calhoun right now is a roster bubble type player, and he'll have to make the roster again next preseason, where you'll end up seeing him get more chances than any time this year. So back to the action here. We have the Vikings on the move in Bear territory, up 7. Teddy Bridgewater, swing right, Dalvin Cook, and the Bears swarm him at the 34-yard line. Freeman plus Marcus Cooper. Third down, Minnesota. Bridgewater takes a shot to the end zone, but overthrows. Michael Floyd, incomplete. Now, as we know, the Bears will be picking very high in this next draft, and I've been asked if it's possible for us to trade down and acquire more picks. I'd say it's possible, but I would prefer to get a high-level talent in that spot if we can. Now in the game for Chicago, Mark Sanchez, and his first throw as a Bear is on target to Kevin White. And I was asked, what happened to Kevin White? Well, White started for most of this year for us, and check out Benny Cunningham with a good run. But Kevin White started much of this year for us and struggled to stand out. He wasn't able to make the physical plays I was hoping he could, and he didn't create a lot of separation. But here, a couple nice catches on this drive, and he's matched up with Xavier Rhodes. So I'm glad he's getting this chance. It's just been hard for White to stand out this year, and the following preseason is going to be critical for him to find a role on this team, which is inevitably going to have more receiver competition. Good job by Sanchez evading the pressure, going deep for Kendall Wright, touchdown! 5th score on the year. Now, Kendall Wright was another one-year contract player, one I would hope to retain. I think Wright has been underutilized this year, and he's maximized his opportunities. Another player many of you are curious about is wide receiver Cameron Meredith, who could have been primed for a breakout year and could have changed this offense, but he suffered an ACL injury in preseason. I'm hoping to re-sign Cameron Meredith, even if it's expensive. Maybe we go to a shorter term contract like 2 years. When I think about what this team needs at receiver, which is a physical player that can also provide some big plays, Meredith supplies that. And outside of him, the main player I'd look to target in free agency would be Quincy Enunwa from the Jets, who is also coming off an injury, but I think should have a free agent market if the Jets don't re-sign him. Here's Mark Sanchez on 3rd down. He gets crushed, and that's Danielle Hunter forcing the incompletion. I think solidifying tackle next year is a major need for this team. When I look at where we can improve the most, it's likely on 3rd down. I want to have a better chance of converting those 3rd and 7s, and needing that extra half second to a second in the pocket can make all the difference. So tackle is something we have to address. On the defensive side, I would like to start getting cornerbacks who specialize in man coverage, and I think it's our linebackers and safeties that would help us be a bit more versatile if the cornerback position is a bit better. Here's a nice stop by Nick Kwiatkowski as he takes down Dalvin Cook. But if we can get some better man cover corners, that opens up what we can do, whether it's blitzing those fast safeties, getting more aggressive on 3rd down, or strategically double covering and not worrying about the opposite side as much. In some ways, I just feel that we've been limited because of a few weaknesses, and I'm hoping that changes next year. So after the drop by Rudolph, we have a long kick here for Kai Forbath, 55 yards. Off the crossbar, kind of where they intersect there, the crossbar and the upright. It's no good. So we have the Bears keeping this game close. It's only a 3-point game, and they'll run it with Benny Cunningham, but a good tackle there. I think Cunningham could make some good spot starts if Howard ever got injured. I think Cunningham is a pretty complete skill set. 3rd and 12, and the protection issues arise again. Danielle Hunter brings down Sanchez. Some defensive players who have impressed me this year when given the chance are Prince Amukamara, of course. He's gotten the extension to prove it. Also, Jonathan Bullard, who has been starting these last couple games in the place of Mitch Unrein. Also, Leonard Floyd and Pernell McPhee have made a number of big plays for us, sacking quarterbacks. I feel like there's a lot to work with on this defense, but having an offense that struggles to stay on the field and then a defense that allows big plays, I think has made us look a little bit worse than we are in terms of our defensive talent. But I think that if we make a couple of positive moves, that they could actually be a pretty good defense next year. Bridgewater escapes the pocket. Going long and out of bounds is Stephon Diggs, incomplete. Here's 3rd and 12. Bears want this to stay a one-score game. Bridgewater underneath and Cook to the ground with the football shy of the marker. It's now a 16-10 game with 8.5 to go in the Bears season. Handoff now to Tariq Cohen, who is wrapped up. Many want to know what my plans are with Cohen, and I want to keep using him as a gadget player and to catch passes and take tosses. And I do want to get him more involved in the offense next year. Here's Everson Griffin continuing to make this a long day for the quarterbacks. Viking football, 5:47 left to go. Bridgewater to Adam Thielen on the outside, who grabs at that arm, and he is shaken up. At the 42, Bridgewater hands off to Cook. Met, but look at the fight from Cook, not going down easily. Bullard and Kwiatkowski finally bring him down. Here's an aggressive look on 3rd down. Here they come. Sacked, and Teddy lost the football. Scooped up by Cook, but the Bears make the play. And it's Ifo Ekpreolamu, who was just signed a couple weeks ago, who got through clean on the sack. I hope to call more aggressive plays like that on 3rd down next year. So Tariq Cohen's going to take this now from inside the 10. Looks to make a move, but can't keep his footing. So the Bears are running out of time. Can they get one more touchdown this year? Mark Sanchez in the shotgun. Steps up, outside off the hands of Marcus Wheaton. Covered there by Tremaine Brock. Now Cohen next to Sanchez wanting a screen. And this is Rule the fumble. Kendricks, touchdown Vikings. And that might seal the NFC North for Minnesota. They tried getting a screen to Cohen, and this is ruled a fumble, not a forward pass, which I think is a bad call. And that makes it a 22-point lead for Minnesota, and the Bears now have 3 minutes left to go. Here's Kevin White on the catch. Good to see him make an impact here in the final week against a good secondary. 3 minutes to go in the Bears season. Sanchez downfield, and there's Marcus Wheaton laying out. He might not get to 1,000, but it's still been a very successful year for the former Steeler. 1st and 10, getting this away. Oh man, nearly picked off by Emmanuel Lemur. From the 45 of Minnesota, here's Sanchez again, pressure in his face, and Shaheen can't reel this in. 3rd down Bears. We have to make those tough plays next year, that's a focus. Tight end screen now, why not? The season's almost over. Nowhere to go, 4th down Chicago. The crowd getting loud here in Minneapolis. 4th and 10. Sanchez steps up. Knocked away by Trey Waynes. Intended for White. And Minnesota will take over. With maybe one drive to go this season, there is the undrafted rookie Marcus Calhoun getting his first offensive snap. Cook on the carry. Stays on his feet and keeps on going. Calhoun came up empty, but Fuller makes the tackle to save a touchdown. Marcus Calhoun had a chance to make a play there, but he missed. 3rd and 8, Dalvin Cook runs into Akeem Hicks. That'll bring on Kai Forbath. 25-10 now Minnesota, and this could do it for the Bears season. 1 minute left to go. Michael Burton, though, going to break a tackle. He rushed for 4 touchdowns this year, 2nd most on the team. Spreading the defense out, screen Thompson. He gets some room. Deontay Thompson to the Minnesota 45-yard line. Down to 28 seconds. Sanchez underneath. This is Alonzo Russell making just his 2nd career catch. 3rd and inches, now with 11 seconds to go. Sanchez again to Russell, taken down in time for maybe one more play. This will do it. The last play of Bears franchise season 1. Mark Sanchez to the end zone, overthrowing Marcus Wheaton. And that's the season, everybody. The Chicago Bears go 4-12, finish last in the NFC North. And now we'll look ahead to the offseason and getting better for next year. Thank you all for enduring this season. I know it was challenging at times and the team was not very good. We had some fun moments and it was great to see players like Amukamara and Pernell McPhee and Marcus Wheaton have their strong seasons. But obviously, we want to see this team get better, and we hope that the best is yet to come and that we don't have to wait too long for it. So the off-season plan is getting underway, and right now I'm planning on having the off-season either this Saturday or Friday. I haven't decided yet. I might be busy on Saturday. Normally I want to do all my off-seasons now on Saturday, and I'll try to make that happen. If not, it'll be Friday. Following this episode, I will have the recap video coming your way on Thursday, getting us prepared for the offseason, going through the stats this year, talking about the team, and spending most of our attention on the draft board. Speaking of the draft, I expect we'll be picking number 2 this year, as we did have a victory against the Steelers, so they will pick number 1. What are the Steelers going to do? That's a shock they're picking anywhere near the number 1 overall selection. Here is a quick look at the roster, our best players, our youngest players, and our oldest players. I do think with some of our veterans on defense, there is a window of opportunity, and I'm hoping it doesn't pass us up before these players exit their prime. Players like Jarrell Freeman are 33. You have Danny Trevathan, who is getting closer to 30. I hope that we can maximize this defense while those players are playing at a high level. But I am very excited to get to this offseason. I want to go and get some more playmakers for the offense. I want to improve the defensive line. I hope to address cornerback and add some depth to this team. The offseason is always a great time, and I'm hoping that with the opportunity we have this year with our cap room and a high draft pick, that we can make the most of it. So I will have that recap video coming your way shortly. And you can leave any feedback you have in the comment section on what you think this team needs to do and how we can improve upon a 4-12 season heading into year 2 of the franchise. I still need to go and rank my draft board and get that presented in the draft or the season recap video. So I'll be able to talk about all these players and where I think the draft is strong and how we can best strategically attack our needs. So that is coming next. Year 1 is just about wrapped up. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe for much more Bears franchise on the way. And I will see you then. Have a great day.